Trucker Dump for October 14th, 2015, episode 110, Jabbering with Jared.
Welcome to Trucker Dump, where you'll get one driver's insights and sometimes humorous views of truck driving and the trucking industry, and pretty much anything else he feels like dumping on you. This podcast is brought to you by AboutTruckDriving.com. Resources that help you understand the world of truck driving through the use of stories and a pathetic attempt at humor.
Hey there, folks. What's up? Todd McCann here. Well, welcome to Take 3. Yes, you heard that right. Take 3. You know, unlike Buck and Don over at the Trucking Podcast, who constantly forget to hit record, that's not my problem. The problem I had was the first take I did just sucked. It just sucked. There's no way around it. It was boring. I guess I wasn't in a good mood that day. It was just awful. So I redid it. Or perhaps I should say I tried to redo it. That's because when I went to open my Mac, I realized that I didn't have GarageBand installed, which is the program that I use to record this podcast. You see, recently, my computer had been getting really slow, and I decided to swap out the old spinning hard drive for this brand new fancy pants SSD. And I gotta tell you, it's awesome. Made my 7-year-old computer seem like new. I love it. Wasn't gonna buy a new computer, was thinking about it anyway, but now I don't have to do that. Since you guys know how much of a cheapskate I am, that makes me really happy. But anyway, problem was, like I said, the program wasn't there. So I thought, well, I'm just gonna have to wait till I get home next time. But that was gonna be like 3 weeks out. So I thought, well, okay, I'm just going to suck it up. I'm just going to use my Verizon cell data. I had plenty left, or I thought I did anyway. And I went ahead and clicked the new GarageBand and downloaded it because I honestly had been using a really old version. So anyway, I get all of GarageBand downloaded, and then it tells me, hey, you got to download this one more packet of things. So I thought, well, okay, whatever. Still got some room left on my data cap. Boom, click the button. Guess what? The stinking thing is 2 gigabytes. 2 gigabytes more. So by this time, I'm going to go over my data cap. I call Verizon real quick, get them to up it to 12, which, as a side note, might ought to do that every once in a while because I found out I could have been getting 12 gigabytes for the same price of what I'm paying 10 gigabytes for. So now I'm on a 12 gigabyte plan just because, you know, I tried to download this GarageBand for you guys. Well, so thank you for that. But anyway, it got like 1.8 gigs of that downloaded, and then it failed. Wouldn't you know it? I don't know what happened, if the internet crapped out, if the install failed or what, but it just wouldn't do it. And at that point, I did not have enough data to try it again. So I just had to wait until I got home next time. So that's part of the reason why you're not seeing an episode for 3 months. My last one was July 6th, so I guess it's been a little over 3 months. Oh, by the way, if it does sound a little different today, you'll know why. That's because I'm using this new GarageBand. One thing I have discovered that I love about it is it's got this new noise gate, or maybe the old one had a noise gate in it, but I didn't know how to use it, and the new one's fairly easy to use, or it's just doing something automatically. I don't know, but I've got reefers and trucks going on left and right outside me. I'm parked right by the fuel bay. There's all kinds of sounds outside, and I've listened back, and I can't hear any of it, so I'm loving it. So that should be able to help me not have as many excuses to not do podcasts in the future. Well, dadgummit, just screwed myself there, I guess. Okay, well, that was a bit of a rat hole, so back to the story. Anyway, okay, so the first recording I did just sucked, like I said. The second one I couldn't do at first because of the GarageBand. I finally got home this last time, got the new GarageBand completely installed, and it was a good thing anyway because I actually had forgot to transfer all over my music and my the feedback thing where the guy says, where you want this load of feedback, all that stuff I had forgotten to transfer over too, so now that's why you're getting a complete episode. So anyway, but I went ahead, did the whole second track. I loved it. The second time through, it was just perfect. I was editing it, and somehow or another, I don't know. I've never done this before, so I'm not sure whether it's my fault or whether it's a new GarageBand that screwed me or what, but I laid one track. I laid the old track that I hated over the new one. Now, I know you're probably asking, why didn't I just delete the first track in the first place? And I don't know. If I hadn't have done that, it wouldn't have been an issue. But anyway, I didn't, and somehow I managed to basically lay the old track right on top of the new track and screwed it completely up. Well, I lost hope. It took like another 2 weeks before I had a chance to record what I'm recording. Now, hopefully, I won't bone this one. So anyway, one thing that is really different about this GarageBand, though, is it's for the first time I can actually hear myself speaking in my headphones. I'm supposed to be able to do that in the older version, but it never worked for me, and I can in the new version. I gotta tell you, it is freaking me the heck out. I mean, it is so weird. So if I'm having trouble talking today, that's my excuse for that. But that isn't the only reason why this show was delayed for 3 months. Actually, the first part of this, before I did all the hard drive swap and all that stuff, was the fact that I had something else planned. And I mentioned this a while back when I had that 6-month leave, and that I had something I was going to podcast about. I was really excited about it, and then it fell through, and I just kept thinking it was going to happen, and so I kept delaying the podcast. Well, that happened again, only I didn't wait 6 months this time. I only waited, like a month and a half and realized it wasn't going to happen. So I went ahead to go ahead and put out a podcast for you. And that's when I ran into the GarageBand problems. So anyway, to make up for it, I'm going to give you guys one long episode, whether you like it or not. Actually, that's for 2 reasons. One, because, as you know from the title, this is the interview that I did with my nephew, Jared, who was out on the road with me for 2 weeks a while back. And I didn't think the interview would be very long because, well, teenage boys aren't exactly known for being vocal, as far as being talkative and everything. And Jared's normally not, but I don't know. Maybe I just surprised him. I was getting ready to take him, we were off the road and he was at our house and I was getting ready to take him home, and I just grabbed him, said, "Come here real quick." And I ran back in a closet. I had set up the microphone and everything, and I said, "Sit down, I want to interview you real quick." And he was like, "No, oh man, I don't want to do this." And I was like, "Just shut up, sit down and quit your whining and do it." And we end up having a 45-minute conversation. So that's part of why this is so long. The other part is because I could just cut off all the comments like I have been doing, but I'm tired of doing that. Greg's had audio comments in here for a long time that I just can't get to. And I've got all other kinds of written comments too, and I want to get to these. So this episode's probably going to be well over an hour. I'm guessing maybe an hour and 15, something like that. If you don't like them that long, just split it up into 2. That's the beauty of podcasting. You can listen when you want. So don't want to hear any whining. But in the future, though, I will keep trying to. I'm going to keep trying to do around like 45 minutes or so, but may go as high as an hour. I don't know. I'm just kind of tired of apologizing about the whole thing nowadays. So you get what you get. So hey, I got a couple of things I want to tell you about. First, I got a new truck. Didn't really want a new truck. That's the thing. I was happy with my old one. It was working great, maintenance free pretty much. But then it finally started crapping out on me. And this was a 2014 International Pro Star. Finally started crapping out on me in the air conditioner department. It would actually work when it was idling, but as soon as you'd go down the road, take about 20-30 minutes and it would crap out on you. So you can see the problem here. Every time I decided to take it to the shop and it would be idling before I could get somebody to come out and look at it, it would start working again. So I'm not sure if they thought I was nuts, but I took it to our shop numerous times, couldn't get it fixed. I finally ended up taking it to an international dealer where I sat for 2 days watching Netflix. Thank God for their free Wi-Fi at least. By the way, if you're ever at an international dealer or someplace and it tells you that you've capped out on your bandwidth limit, which apparently I had after the first day, just switch browsers. I was using Safari and I switched over to Chrome, and it thought it was a new computer, so it let me get on Netflix again. So there's a little tip for you. Where was I? Oh yeah, international dealer. Yep. So there, I had it in there for 2 days and they could not recreate the problem. So of course, as soon as I took out of there, I had a 90-mile trip up, and it worked fine the whole way up. And I'm shocked. I thought, well, maybe it fixed itself magically. Who knows? I hope it did. But of course, on the way back down, it didn't. Well, I happened to be going right by that international dealer, so I swung in there again real fast and said, "Run out here and look at this thing. It's malfunctioning again." And the lady said, "Just go park your trailer and pull up here to the bay. We'll put the machine on it." Well, what do you know? Of course, by the time I get over to drop the empty, it starts working again. So that happened a couple more times, and finally I got a call from our main yard, who actually said that we had like 100 trucks in our yard, and I thought I was gonna, at that point I was just saying, just give me one, but they didn't have one. All of them didn't have registration yet, but a couple weeks in the bad truck still, and I finally got a new truck. Luckily, the 2 weeks weren't bad because I was running in Minnesota and North Dakota a lot, and like I said, it does idle when you're trying to sleep, or it doesn't work while you're trying to sleep and you're just idling. So the rest of the time I'm up there in North Dakota, and even in the summer it wasn't that bad, So I'd just take a shower when I got done, and then I would crash, and the air conditioner would work all night while I was idling. So couldn't complain too much. But I got a new truck, got one of these fancy pants new battery powered APUs, and so that's awesome. Pretty happy about the whole ordeal. I actually wish I would have asked for a new truck a long time ago, now that I got one. And of course, I've been offered a new truck for quite a while now, and the Evil Overlord has told me numerous times that I ought to try to get one because it would be better. And of course, I just said, nah, I don't need a new one, I'm fine. So of course, now she's giving me the old, "I told you so, you're such a dumbass." So what else is new? Oh yeah, well, okay, I mentioned to you guys last time that I got new logos and headers for abouttruckdriving.com and the Trucker Dump, and you can check those out, abouttruckdriving.com. Have a look, see how you like them. Give me a holler and tell me what you think of them. It's probably no big deal to you, but it was a long, painstaking process for me to get those done, so I'm glad they're done. Let's see, what else we got? Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys that I've been doing some writing for a publication called truckermagazine.com. This is like one of those recruiting type magazines that you see at the truck stop, only it's online only. But it's the kind of thing where it's got a lot of advertisements for trucks, and then it's got, 4, 5, 6 articles in there, and I'm basically their staff blogger, so I can just write about anything I want. It is a shorter form over there, if you're into that, because I do go long here sometimes. It's about 600 or 700 words. I think the highest I've ever gone there is like 800 or 900. And I've been doing that for a few months now, and I'm just really happy to be working with the folks with Tom over there at truckermagazine.com. So go over there and check it out. Like I said, it's only online, so give it a look-see and tell me what you think. And lastly, I heard from our pal Erich McMann, who you might recognize the name, who gave us the 3 copies of the Trucker Country CD to give away. Hope you guys who won those are enjoying those. I've also heard from some of you who have actually ordered the CD, so I'm sure Eric appreciates that. I know I do. He wrote to let us know that he has reached number 25 on the International Country Music Artists Top 200 chart. That's pretty darn impressive considering, he's an independent artist. So, congratulations to him on that. He also wanted to tell us that he's got a couple new projects coming out. One's already out, actually. He's got a new one off, it's based on the title track, Trucker Country, and it is basically a compilation of photos from truckers who have sent in pictures of them with their trucks or their dogs or whatever. It's just good, kind of a neat video. Check that out. I'll put links in the show notes to that. He's also got one for his song Big Rig A-Rollin' that he's planning on doing in the future, and that's a great song, so you'll want to hang on for that. And what I'm really looking forward to is he's releasing a Christmas single called Santa Was a Trucker, so I'll be sure to let you guys know when that comes out, because that ought to be a hoot. So anyway, congratulations to Eric. Go check out all his stuff again. You can find his music on Facebook, or not Facebook. God, don't go anywhere to Facebook. Facebook's awful. Don't go there. You can go on iTunes. You can go on Google Play. You can also find his videos on YouTube, of course. Just search for Erich McMann. His name is spelled ERICHMCMANN. Well, I think that'll about do it for announcements. Let's see. In the comments, I told you we were going to get some comments today, finally. We hear a quick Apple Watch tip from Clive. Ken over on Google Plus wrote in about the Fuel Bay Golden Rule. And Greg sends an audio comment about his worst Fuel Bay experience also. And he tells us about some cool products. So stay tuned for that. All right, on with the interview. First, I want to point out that this doesn't have a lot to do with trucking, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I have an episode of the Trucker Dump like that every once in a while, and this is one of them. I just wanted to interview my nephew and see what he thought about trucking, and this is what we come up with. So, let me know how you like it.
Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4. Say something. Say something.
Your mom.
My mom. All right. Let's see. Okay, who are you again? You're my nephew, but which one are you? I forget.
The middle one.
Oh, the middle one. Okay. And I think I said in the last podcast that you're 14, but you're not. You're like 10 or 11.
Like 13. I'll be 14 in like 2 weeks. If
2
you
weeks.
could remember.
Yeah.
Said I was 14 like the whole trip.
Okay. All right. So he's 14. Okay. So as some of you might remember in the last podcast, I mentioned that I was bringing my nephew out with me, and we have just been on the road for 2 weeks. We were thinking about staying out for 3 weeks, but he had enough, which is kind of what I was hoping for. So, okay. One really cool thing was that he got to experience a lot of things that I didn't really think he would get to experience as a trucker.
Some of them were not fun.
No, even the first day.
Yeah.
So what happened on the first day?
Well, there was a tornado warning in the middle of a traffic jam. And
You remember what city we were in?
Kansas City.
Yeah. We were picking up our first load up there. And then when we finally get out of the traffic jam, and then we go to the Sam's Club and we pick up. And what happened there? You remember that?
It took like 8 hours.
No, that was in Wichita.
That was
later.
oh.
This is when I made the poncho.
Oh yeah, he made a trash bag poncho to not get his clothes wet. He walked out in a trash bag, and it was kind of embarrassing.
How deep was the water in that parking lot?
It was like a foot deep.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I was like wading. I was so soaked when I got out, and I'd get back in, and I was just so freaking soaked. And, of course, the water doesn't run off of the trash bag, so it just soaked all into my seat. It was just a nasty, nasty mess. Yeah. Okay, so then we go from there, and then we went to, you remember where we went after that? From Kansas City?
Wichita?
Yeah, went to Wichita, and we spent the night there. Went to Walmart, stocked up on crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we made a big mistake because I allowed him to get chili. And we'll get into that later. That was not very wise on my part. Okay, but then, the next morning we went to pick up a load, and what happened?
It took like 8 hours, and we were sitting there all day, and yeah.
But you slept some of that in the
Yeah, I
morning.
slept like probably 4 of it.
Yeah. And then we got in after this it took like 4 hours just to get in the dock, and then they loaded us, and then what happened with the load?
It was too heavy.
Yeah.
And they had 8 hours to decide whether they have enough or not. Or I don't know if that's how it works, but they had that much time, and then they just make it too heavy.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't too heavy overall. It was just they loaded it wrong. They had enough. It was light enough. It's just they put too much weight on the back end.
Oh, well, still.
And because the load was going to California, we had to move the tandems way up. Truckers understand what I'm talking about here. You don't need to really understand that. But yeah, it was too heavy on the back end, so then we took and weighed it, and it was bad. We went, it was too heavy, way over. So I had to go back. Then I got in an argument with the guy. He was being a douchebag, basically. And finally convinced him that I was right, and he realized I was right. Reloaded it, so then we finally got off. You remember where we went from there? Wichita?
Oklahoma?
Well, we went through Oklahoma. Where are we headed?
New Mexico?
Yeah. Albuquerque. as
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny would say.
It was kind of flat out there. There was like 200 miles between each town. It was like,
Yeah. Okay, so we're out in the middle of Kansas. A lot of wheat out there. Mm-hmm. A lot of crops.
Yeah.
So did I make you sit up there the whole time and watch the scenery go by? I did?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty cruel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You sure you didn't do anything else that whole time?
No.
Are you positive?
I'm sure.
No, I have an inverter in the truck now, which I didn't used to have, so he brought his PlayStation 3. So he spent all day playing what game?
What?
What?
I played Borderlands, the pre-sequel, and
You wanted to play what?
Destiny.
Yeah.
But there's no Wi-Fi. You need
internet.
to get like a router or a modem or whatever in your truck.
Well, I have a hotspot on my phone, but apparently it doesn't work. He tried to hook up his PlayStation to that at one point, and it didn't work very well. But
I beat like 6 games in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I would make him sit up there for a while when there was something interesting to see, but, there's just not that much to see in some of these areas. We went to Albuquerque, and we immediately had to go down to where and spend the night. Do you remember?
El Paso.
Yeah.
Well,
Some of those mountains were cool.
Yeah.
But the mountains were cool.
Mountains were cool, and we saw Mexico, but that was about it.
Yeah, got to look across and see the giant Rio Grande right there.
Yeah.
Which looks like you could jump across it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw the fence to, what is it, Juarez? Is that what it is? Yeah, Juarez, yeah.
Some writings on them, or writing on the mountain. That's weird.
Oh, yeah. Writing on the mountain said something about Juarez. Since we're not Spanish, since we're not Mexican, we didn't really know. Although we do kind of tease my nephew about, he's got a little mustache and he's kind of got a darker complexion. So I was teasing about it when we got to the border patrol that I was afraid that they were going to deport him.
I thought they were going to.
But what happened at the border? At the border patrol.
At the border patrol, they just like waved us on. Like nobody was stopped. Like they were just putting every truck going in. And there was like 2 buses that were stopped, and that was it. Everybody else was just
flying by. Yeah. We got lucky on that. Although I was kind of hoping to get rid of him by that point. But hey, what are you gonna do? Okay, so let's see. El Paso. Oh yeah, we picked up at a little importer. That even took like 4 hours.
Yeah, that took a long time.
God, that was awful. Yeah. And then I walked back inside. I thought they left because all the lights were out. And I finally had to go hunt somebody down. Finally got out of there. We ate Subway. Right. Mm-hmm. That was another thing. You guys know how cheap I am. I'm always talking about it on Twitter.
So
I'm always
cheap.
So cheap. I can't help it. We ate out. And, the Evil Overlord was like, take him out to eat. Don't be a cheapskate. Don't make him eat peanut butter all the time. And so I didn't. We only ate peanut butter like
12,000 times.
Oh, come on.
Like 3 times.
3. Okay. Yeah, I'll go with 3. Yeah.
You gained 5 pounds, fat boy.
Yeah, I did. I gained 5 pounds just from eating with him for 2 weeks. We ate out.
I gained like 1.
Well, that's because you're a freaking bottomless pit. I go in and I get like a 6-inch Subway, and he gets, a 12-inch Subway, plus chips, plus cookies.
Hey, that was the other time, not the first time. They're confusing.
Yeah, but then, okay. But then, like, an hour later, he's saying, can I have some chips? And then when he goes in the back and he's getting chips and he's eating chips, So, yeah. I actually did weigh myself when I got home, and I weigh 5 pounds more. So I blame that entirely on you.
I weigh 1 pound more. If 1 pound, like a few ounces.
Well, that's because you lose it all in gas.
Oh, yeah.
That's part of the problem that I was not anticipating. I'm not home very much, so I don't know. I'm good with the nephews, but I don't know them. All their little eccentricities, is that the word that the Evil Overlord knows? And so she warned me, but I had no idea what it was like.
This is why she has a rule on farting around her.
Right. And do you find it amazing that she can control 3 boys and their farts? You guys don't fart around her, right?
Right. Unless we get lucky and they don't stink and they're completely silent.
So you actually do every once in a while?
No, because I don't, but I know Jacob and Joel do. Maybe not Joel, because his are pretty nasty too. But, but I know Jacob does, because his are always silent and they never stink. But if I did it, then no, I'd get in trouble, because mine are never silent and they always stink. So.
Yeah. So if we're in the living room, like, you have to go all the way into the kitchen,
All the way
bathroom,
into the kitchen bathroom.
Yeah, and then she makes you stay there until it airs out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've known Lorinda, the Evil Overlord, since you were a baby. Does she live up to her name, the Evil Overlord? You think she's evil?
Yeah.
She's also very loving and generous, is she not?
Mm-hmm.
And she takes care of you guys.
She's evil at the same time.
Very evil.
She's evil.
What do you think is probably the most evil thing she's ever done to you?
I don't know. It's hard to... There's a lot of things.
You know what's funny, though? I know later on in life, you're not going to probably remember sitting around watching a movie with me, or watching, playing a video game with me, playing Blur, or, killing me
Even though
times in
I
Call of
probably
Duty.
will remember playing Blur, because I robbed you guys out of $8 one time.
Oh, that's
Pretty happy
right.
about that, because you guys all suck at Blur.
Started betting on a racing game. That's not good. I don't have the reflexes for that anymore.
You've always got that same car that was so slow. It's like,
It controlled good. And since I steer so crappy, I need something that controls good.
slow as a beetle.
Yeah. I would never be stupid enough to bet this kid on Call of Duty, though, because what happened, that the worst defeat.
Oh my god. Okay, so he had a gun, right? And he was sitting in a corner where he could see every entry, and the only thing in front of him was a car. That was the only thing that I could crouch behind to get my health back and go. And, I had a knife. I didn't even have any, grenades or anything. I had a knife, and I was running at him, trying to kill him before he could shoot me. And I don't even think he killed me once. I would always get there, and I'd act like I was going one way, and then I'd just crouch and go the other way, and he'd be like, "Whoa, where are you at?" And then I'd just stab him, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I suck pretty bad at that game, don't
Yeah.
I did get better, but I still suck. Right? I mean, it was you defeated me, what? You killed me 21 times, and I got you maybe once.
Yeah, something like that.
And it was like a lucky shot or something.
Yeah, something
I was
like
just, randomly shooting at the air, and it happened to get it. Yeah. So, needless to say, I didn't play a whole lot of video games with him out on the road. We didn't play at all, did we?
I don't think so.
No. But we got to watch some movies.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Y'all know, if you have kids, which I don't, but kids think we're all stupid. We're old. They think we're stupid. They think we have no taste. And if we suggest anything, it's probably a really bad idea. It's probably really stupid. And it's probably going to be really bad. But what was the first movie I made you watch?
Forrest Gump?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
That's a really good movie, isn't it? Did you watch it again yesterday on the way home? See? I try to tell him, but he just doesn't listen because I'm just a stupid old man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got lucky.
Okay. All right. Okay, but then we watched Arnold Schwarzenegger flick.
2.
2? Oh, yeah, we did. What was them? What were they?
Not Commando. Predator and True Lies.
Yeah.
I knew those were going to be good. You didn't have to tell me because they have Arnold Schwarzenegger on them. So.
Right. Because you do. Jared is the one who constantly does the Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to finally hear him do his famous line.
Get to the job.
Yeah. Oh, you can't say it like that. Come on. Say it like Arnold.
Oh.
Come on. Say it. Say it. Go on. Say it.
No.
Come on. You want me to do it first because I sound horrible when I do it?
Sure.
Get to the chopper!
Get to the chopper!
We can't help but laugh every time he does it, so it's just totally awesome. Oh, wow.
Spike in the voice.
We spiked on that big time. That's me laughing, I think, is what that is when that happens. Yeah. So I get a little hot. Oh, well. That's all right. Because this is my first interview, really, or my first conversation live, so I'm not surprised that it's going to sound pretty bad. All right, but anyway, okay. You made the understatement of the century, possibly just a few minutes ago. You were talking about farting,
Yeah.
and you were saying that Joel's farts stink pretty bad sometimes. Jacob, your older brother, rarely does. And you said yours kind of stink.
No, I said they always stink,
Yeah.
and they're never silent.
No, they are not.
But if the rare chance of them being silent, then they're just terrible. They're always super nasty.
Even worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you, being the nice nephew that you are, you always tried to shield me from this in the truck.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely. I try to fart as little as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you did, like, you try to keep it under the blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd never, like, lift the blanket or
No.
wave it at me. Or
Not
anything.
not at all. No.
Yeah.
Never. I don't even. Who would do that?
I don't know what's wrong with this kid. I'm thinking about taking him to the doctor because at one point I was making oatmeal for us in the morning. I was kind of leaned over the microwave. I took a big yawn, and he had just busted one, and my gag reflex actually kicked in. They smell like they got acid in them or something. Something's
Well,
really wrong.
that's your fault. You fed me chili like twice in a row with Fritos,
Yeah,
so they smelled like corn
yeah, they were,
mixed with poop.
They were really bad. And nobody is surprised, by the way, that we're talking about farting because this is called the Trucker Dump podcast.
It's got dump in the name.
Yeah, and you know what? Yeah, trucker dump is also it means that it's the dumping grounds for my thoughts, but it also is trucker dump means a giant dump.
They take a dump.
Yeah.
Some of the dumps in that. Just the way they smelled in that bathroom when we were brushing our teeth. So nasty.
Yeah, that's one of the worst aspects of trucking. Going in there, trying to brush your teeth while
That's why I told you we should just brush our teeth in the truck. You get 2 cups and you get some water and you just do it.
I know, but
I don't want to smell poop while I'm brushing my teeth, but I probably fart anyways. So
yeah. Well, you pretty good about not farting in public, at least, right?
yeah, I held it for like freaking 8 hours. When we did the Segway thing, I had never farted, and then the aquarium or the Mexican restaurant. Somehow I didn't fart in the Mexican restaurant.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's worse is I texted my sister and told her that Jared was farting a lot, and she said, well, at least you can come back with some of your own and retaliate. And I was like, no, I really can't for some weird reason. Mine never stink, do they?
No.
Never.
You
never smelled it once, did you?
No.
See, Lorenda's always saying hers smelled like roses.
Oh.
But, yeah, I think hers smell worse than mine sometimes. And thank God she doesn't listen to this podcast because she'll probably kill me if she heard me say that.
Yeah.
But she's not here right now. So we're safe. And she'll never listen to this. Whoa, she actually might if she knows you're on it.
Crap. Oh, it's too late. You already said it.
That's all right. My health insurance is up to date. So,
All right.
you know, when she sends me to the emergency room, I'll be okay. All right. So from El Paso, let's see. We watched some movies. Like I said, we got some chips and salsa, right?
Yeah.
Pigged out on chips and salsa.
Chips and salsa and cheese dip.
Then we went to, remember where? We were going to stop at Six Flags. We were going to.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to deliver in Dallas. Actually, you remember the city where you're supposed to deliver to?
DeSoto.
Yeah, and why do you remember that?
Because my mom lived there,
Yeah.
and we were going to get Mr. Jim's pizza.
Yeah, well, we couldn't get it all the way out by our yard because our yard is not in town. It's all the way out of
I think it's
town.
probably just because you're cheap. I'm just kidding.
I tried. It was going to be $75 cab ride down into Dallas, one way.
I thought you
So we
said
couldn't do that.
$75 pizza. I was like, oh
No.
my God.
Mr. Jim's is good, but it's not that good. But it is pretty good. So we end up sitting around. You were really happy, though, right, when we got out to our yard because...
They had Wi-Fi, and it was so fast. It was 10 megabits per second.
It was scorching.
And then the biggest letdown ever,
Yeah.
besides Todd.
Yeah. Yeah, besides me in general.
It crapped out and kicked us off every maybe 5 minutes, maybe less.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So he tried to play Destiny, but it didn't work. So he just ended up playing more Borderlands, right?
Yeah. Then
I set up and watched. I was catching up on Downton Abbey, and I basically had to sign off of Wi-Fi and sign back onto Wi-Fi every 5 minutes for, what, 9 hours?
Yeah.
Something like that. It really sucked.
Pretty dedicated to that show if you're going to do that for 9 hours.
Yeah. Well, it's good. Yeah. Okay, but I got it all watched. Okay, so from there we went to
Amarillo.
Yeah, on the way up to Denver. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Amarillo. We stopped at the big Texan steakhouse. You got
A filet. That was $29.
Why didn't you go for the 72 ouncer?
Because I'm not fat.
You couldn't have eaten 72 ounces.
Yes, I could. I just didn't want to show off.
There was one guy who tried, but he didn't.
No, he didn't. I don't even think he got close.
How much was the steak if you don't?
$72.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
If you don't finish it. Well, how much was yours?
72. I'm just kidding. It was 29 with just the steak, and then, but it was good. And then,
the Evil Overlord kept texting me because I'm famous for ragging them about money all the time because I'm cheap.
Yeah.
And she said, you need to quit ragging on him because they don't like it and it makes them feel bad. And I said, well, if it makes them feel bad, why did Jared just order the $29 steak without even blinking? It doesn't make you feel bad, right? You know I'm just joking, right? Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
I know you're joking when we go to McDonald's and we order off the dollar menu and you were like, oh my gosh, we're spending too much money. Spend like $5 and
well, how much was the bill at Amarillo? With tip.
84.
Yeah, $84. Did I complain about that?
Yeah.
Did I?
A little bit.
Okay, maybe I did a little bit. Well, we've been.
See, you're so cheap. You don't even know that you complain about it. You just do it with. It's just a thing you have to do.
It's part of me.
Yeah.
Oh well. Okay, so then we finally got up to
Denver.
Yeah. Was Colorado cool?
Yeah, but on the way there was just flat stuff, so that was not very cool. But when we got there, it was cool.
Yeah. Because why was it cool in Denver?
The segways.
Yeah. I got a TripAdvisor, which is a cool little app if any of you truckers ever want to know what is to do in an area, just TripAdvisor. Try that. I looked up things to do and saw Segway tours and thought that would be really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really cool. Were they hard to ride?
No, not at all. Like, at first, you get on there, and I couldn't even stand up straight. Like, I kept going back and forth and back and forth. And I was supposed to go to this one spot, and I could not get there. I'd get there, and then I'd keep accidentally edging forward, and then I'd go back, like she said, but I'd end up going back, 10 feet. And then she constantly had to keep moving to try to get me to, she had to put her hands on the Segway to try to get me to stand still, but I got it after a while.
How long did it take either one of us to learn it?
Probably a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah. It was really fast. We were surprised. When you first get on them, like you said, you lean forward and you go forward. If you lean backward, you go backwards.
And if you tilt the turn,
handlebar thing, yeah.
Move them left or right, you turn.
But by the end of it, we were flat cooking, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to go faster than 12 mile an hour. Yeah. But we took a downtown tour of Denver, which was really cool.
Saw the eagle that was pooping on the city.
Right. Yeah, got a cool story about that. So if you guys were ever in town, you want to figure that one out.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a cool tour, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
And we got to see lots of artwork, which we were more impressed with the Segways, were we not?
Oh, yeah.
We're not art guys, really.
No. The tour was cool and seeing everything was cool, but the Segways were definitely the funnest part.
Yeah, we only got 2 hours on them. That sucked, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't badger me at all about going on them later on.
Oh, no. I didn't say a million times that we need to go on the next tour in 2 hours.
Yeah. And then when that one passed, you didn't bother me at all about going the next day either, right?
No. Or in a different city. I never did that.
Oh, no. Yeah, you didn't say, I'm sure Segways are available in other cities.
No.
Yeah. So that was a blast. That was probably the highlight of the trip, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
For sure.
And then we had some good Mexican food.
Yeah. A little Mexican place right by the aquarium. We went to the aquarium, which was, what do you think?
It's pretty good. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's an aquarium. You just look at stuff. It's so cool to see everything and mostly the sharks. But if Joel was there, my little brother, he'd be like, "Oh my gosh, look at that! Look at the little fish!"
Yeah.
And then
and we're we just walked past those pretty much.
Yeah.
And the best thing about that was when we were on our way out, because this was me and Jared were talking about, and not the Evil Overlord. We walked right through this souvenir shop.
Yes, if the Evil Overlord, quote,
Yeah.
Lolly Lorinda.
They call her Lolly, right?
Yes.
What else do you call her, by the way?
LaFonda.
Yeah. From what movie?
Napoleon Dynamite.
LaFonda. Okay.
LaFonda. Okay.
Souvenir shop.
Souvenir shop. I gotta stretch. Okay, so, yeah, if the Evil Overlord was there, we probably would have taken 6 hours in that souvenir shop. And there wasn't even that much in there, but somehow it would work out.
Yeah. She's great at shopping for you guys because she gets you what you want, right?
Yep.
Yeah. She makes sure you guys look good in all your things. She tells you what you look horrible in.
And I'm glad that she goes shopping for us, but it sucks when you're there because you're there all day and it's like you just have to sit there and it's like,
how long do you suppose I've been doing that?
Going shopping with her? I don't know.
Been married 21 years.
Probably not very much because you're always on the truck.
Well, that's true. That's true. But for 9 years she was with me.
Yeah.
And she still makes me go quite a bit. I don't much like it, but I've gotten very patient. I'm used to it.
Sucks for you.
Yeah, but we just kind of looked at things and was like, well, whatever. Yeah.
Same thing as...
Let's go eat. So we just wanted to go eat. We did get to feed some stingrays, though, so that was kind of cool.
That was cool. Yeah. The stingray, jumped up at me and it, freaking bit my hand.
Yeah, trying to take his hand off. He jumped like a little girl. It was kind of funny, really.
I pulled my hand back. I was like, I think I did.
He's going to punch I'm pretty sure they would have frowned on that.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. All right, so
Defense.
Denver's over. You remember where we went from there?
South Dakota, right?
Yeah, we didn't get to see Mount Rushmore.
There's a long pause there.
Yeah.
No, not Mount Rushmore, but that's okay. I've seen it on the movies.
Yeah, well, it is cool, but I don't know if any of you guys know out there, but you really can't get a truck into there. They say they only have enough room for just a few RVs, so I knew there's no way you're getting a truck back in there. So I've never been there, driven past it about 1 million times. Okay, we didn't do anything special there. We went out to Wyoming, picked up a little load out in the middle of freaking nowhere.
That was really flat.
Yeah.
Not very.
And then back from South Dakota. Remember where we went from there? I know you don't know what highway we were on because you never knew what highway we were on.
Route 66.
No.
Just kidding. Iowa?
Yeah.
Ohio?
Iowa. we went to Iowa, down 90 into our yard.
See, I knew we were at 90. I just didn't want to tell you because you probably didn't know.
Right, yeah. I don't know the directions because, I'm just a rookie trucker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so then we delivered, and the next day we got a load back home, right? Pretty much.
We did.
Yeah, we delivered. Well, we went on to Illinois, delivered.
Both sides of St. Louis.
Spent the night, and then we picked up that load outside of Chicago and took it to Missouri.
Yes.
Close to Rolla. Spent the night there.
Rolla. Then we stole some guy's load.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, from Rolla we went back up to St. Louis to pick up a load, and it was overgross, like 81,000 pounds. And they said, well, since you got your nephew with you and you need to get home, we'll take that off this
guy's load that was supposed to go home.
Yeah, poor guy. I felt sorry for him, but not bad enough to not take the load, right? Because by this time you were ready to get home, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't even a chance you were going to stay out 3 weeks. How far did you know into the trip that you would be coming home in 2 weeks?
Not until I decided.
Really?
Well, until...
I thought you had known way earlier than that.
No.
I figured...
I mean, you guys told me I was going home for 2 weeks, but then you said I could stay out. And then the Evil Overlord kept trying to pull me in to staying out 3 weeks. He's like, here are Segway tours and...
Yeah, what she wanted to do was meet us in another town. I wanted me to set my hometown for Dallas, which has a Segway tour. So does Minneapolis. She was wanting, and she was just going to drive there and meet us. And she kept trying to get him to stay out, but he didn't want any part of it because he wanted to get home. Because you're going to Florida next week, right?
Yeah.
With a friend?
Yeah.
For his birthday?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're off the truck now.
Mm-hmm.
Happy about that?
I'm sure you're happy because I don't have to fart. You don't want to smell my farts
You get my
anymore.
space back and you don't trash up my truck.
Yeah. I didn't
And
trash
I'll
up your truck.
maybe, yeah, whatever. And then I'll lose weight again.
Maybe.
No, I will.
No, not if you go to that Taco John donut thing.
God, I forgot about
God, those are so good. I thought it was going to give us like food poisoning because Taco John.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the only worst?
Taco Todd.
Taco Todd.
Taco Todd McCann.
Yeah.
That would give you food poisoning.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that would be the widest name in America.
Yes.
Because
But Taco John's. John with taco. Taco
Juan
is
would make more sense.
Taco Juan. Taco Jose. Taco Eduardo. I don't know.
Right.
But Taco John.
Alejandro.
It's
Yeah.
so like the second widest name behind Todd
Yeah.
with Taco.
Yeah.
But they were so freaking good.
Yeah. The food was good, but the desserts were awesome.
Oh god. They had churros, which were really good, but the donut things were so freaking good.
Yeah. And what's sad is I realized on the way back home that I drive by one all the time and I didn't even realize it. So maybe I won't lose those 5 pounds.
No,
after
you
all.
probably gained 5 pounds just
Yeah.
from the little donut things. You probably just get like a bunch of like 4 packs and just put them in your cooler and then heat them up for later.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And they're cheap too.
How cheap are they?
They were like $1.49, I think.
That's good for you. We all know you don't want to spend any money.
That's right. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention this. The only time I've ever heard Todd say something was worth the money was that Segway tour. $150 for both of us. But he was like, oh, this is completely worth it. And that just, yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard him say that.
Yeah. But okay, I do rag them. I do complain about money a lot. But like when we go to Outback or something, and I take all you guys, I always complain about the bill, right?
Yeah.
Because Lorinda introduced them to
Steak.
and not just the cheap steak though.
The fillets.
This is when you guys were like 8 years old. She introduced
getting them
you
ever
to the
since
fillet. Yeah.
But before that, Joel's still doing this because he doesn't know what good food tastes like.
Right.
But me and Jacob and Joel were all eating chicken, like chicken fingers.
Everywhere.
Went to Mexican restaurant, we got chicken. Went to Outback, we got chicken. Went to seafood, we got chicken fingers.
Yeah.
Went to anywhere, we got chicken fingers.
Yeah. Until
Wally, Evil Overlord, got us some steaks.
yeah.
And they were really good. And the look on Todd's face was not very good.
Our bill is what, $150 every time we go there, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Because we got
I always complain about it when we're there, and then the Evil Overlord tells me to shut the F up,
yeah,
and then I
complain about it in your head,
there you
not
go,
out loud.
because that's what smart people do. But then, yeah, I've explained to these guys that, like, I have a real hard time, like, going into Waffle House and spending $12 on a meal. Because
Yes.
it's just by myself. I'm bored. I'm sitting there watching, just looking at or reading my phone or something, and it's not fun. I do rag about money, but I have more fun when I have all of these guys around, and I don't mind spending that money for that because we don't do it all the time. But I have to rag about it because it's kind of a joke now, right? I mean,
Well, for us it's a joke, but I
Yeah.
think you're doing it
Yeah.
for real sometimes.
yes, I do it for real sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. All right. Let's see what else. Okay, well, like I say, you're off the truck now.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of you becoming a truck driver in your life?
No.
No,
I
not any.
wasn't. I wasn't planning on becoming a truck driver, anyways.
Right.
Before I even went out, because I don't know, I want to do other stuff.
Yeah. Because you're kind of a smart guy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. He's good in school.
And I'm good at everything.
Oh, my God. Especially that whole humble thing. You're really good at being humble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never, whatever. I don't know.
Never brag on yourself?
I never brag on myself,
Never.
no.
No, never. Okay.
Nope.
All right, so I guess mission accomplished for me, because that was kind of my goals, to get you out there, show you how boring it was, see what I did, see what I've been doing for 18 years, which you don't understand how it's possible, right?
Nope.
I listen to a lot of podcasts.
Listen to every single, almost 700 episodes of, or podcast episode thing of the stuff you should know.
Which are good, right?
Yeah, those are good, but how do you listen to that many of them in... Oh, yeah, you have 18 years to do it.
Yeah. Although that podcast hasn't been around that long.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I did binge listen to like the first 300 of them. Just back to back to back to back to back.
Those are really good, but like... You listen to so many of them.
Yeah, listen to some NPR, like American Life. You didn't really like that very much, This American Life.
They were pretty good, but they're just some of the stories. Like the third story was about, what was it about again? Like blushing or something.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting, but they just brought up the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Like it was interesting to know that is a thing.
Yeah, the blushing disease thing.
Yeah. But.
Or disorder.
It got a little old after a little while.
Yeah.
But that first story about the people who were in Alaska or whatever.
Stranded Alaska.
That sounded terrible.
Yeah.
She's like, and you get blisters on the inside of your nose from when the sun bounces off the ice.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. That was cool. But you like stuff you should know because the guys basically are making fun, right? And it's informative. Right. Yeah. Are you going to subscribe to that, you think?
Probably.
I think? Yeah. Because you don't have to listen to every one of them. Although I do find that a lot of them, even though you don't think you'll be interested in it, by the time you get into it, they actually are interesting. All right. So you're not going to become a trucker, so that makes me very happy. Because I don't want you to do this. You're smart. You'll go to school. You'll do something else.
Play baseball.
Well, you can play baseball. Although that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
You got a pretty good arm on you, though. You burn my hand out here with the baseball mitt. I was actually going to...
Yeah, that was like 3 years ago, Todd.
Yeah, I know.
I've gotten a lot better since then.
I know. I'm going to get a catcher's mitt if we do that again, because I ain't doing that.
Yeah, might want to get a mask, too. I hit you in the face.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Get a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you even surprised that a 46-year-old guy can still get down in a catcher's position?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it was anyone else, but you. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah. Okay, let's give me my due, though. Who was the most awesome when at the trampoline park?
My back was hurting, and yeah,
Oh my God.
I didn't want to show off and do 6 flips without touching the ground.
Oh my God, you're so pathetic. Could you even dunk
Yeah,
on the basketball thing? Did you dunk
yeah.
once?
No,
You didn't dunk.
The first few times I couldn't, but then I started doing it.
Oh, okay.
I was fat back then, Todd. I could barely get air.
Even on a trampoline.
Even on a trampoline, I could barely jump.
But I did surprise you there, right? When I started doing flips.
I thought you probably broke your back and you were just continuing to do it because you didn't want to stop or something because it was fun. But I thought
That's fun. But you weren't expecting me to start doing flips, right?
no.
You just figured I'd be an old man jumping around, right?
I'm sure later that night you were probably like, "Oh, my back."
I was pretty sore the next week. It wasn't my back; it was just my muscles in general because I don't do anything other than sit all day. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to say? Did you have fun at least somewhat?
Yeah.
It was kind of boring at times. It was boring a lot of times, right?
Yeah. I'm glad I brought my PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, all right. Well, I guess that's it. I guess I'm going to take you home now.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Okay.
Okay. Want to say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Tell them to listen to the podcast and subscribe.
Listen to this person's podcast and, yeah, that's all.
Subscribe. Okay. Talk to y'all later.
Well, there you have it. Like I said, we had a lot of fun recording that. I wasn't expecting it to be that much fun, but Jared's a hoot most of the time, so I shouldn't have been shocked. So anyway, I was glad that I accomplished my mission, that he got to see what I've been doing all this time, that he is not going to be a trucker. That was kind of important to me. And I didn't figure he would be anyway, but, I figured you get him out here and show him what actually happens all the time, then he would be for sure thinking, oh, okay, trucking, I will never fall back on trucking even. He is a smart kid, though. I'm sure he'll go to college. Hopefully he'll be a doctor and support me and Lorena when we get old. That's the goal anyway. Doubt that's going to happen. But anyway, hey, it's worth a shot. And hey, before I forget, I'm going to be putting some pictures up from our trip together. You've just listened to Jared blab on for 45 minutes. Well, most of that was me, I guess, because that's the way I roll, baby. But anyway, we got some pictures of him in front of the, state signs and stuff, all the different states he was in. I think we got every state he was in. I'll be putting those up on the blog post. Not sure how I'll do that yet, but anyway, just go to Trucker Dump episode 110. That's at abouttruckdriving.com. Just search for episode 110. Actually, it'll be the first one that pops up since it's the most recent one, unless you're listening to this like in, 2020 or something. Then you'll have to go way back in the archive. Oh, who am I kidding? I'm not going to be doing this in 2020. You know what? If I'm still trucking and I'm still doing this podcast in 2020, somebody just shoot me in the frickin' head in my life, please. Seriously, I better be out of trucking by then. Wow. Okay, anyway, what's next? I'm going to put some pictures up of, not pictures, but video of the Segway tour that we took. It was really fun. It was kind of cool. I'll put up just a couple of clips of that probably on the actual episode, Trucker Dump 110 episode. I swear I can talk. Kinda. And I just may put all of them up on YouTube one of these days. And if I've got them uploaded by then, I will put a link in the show notes to those if you're interested. I got some, not just, me and Jared goofing around, but lots of the actual tour and the sights of downtown Denver. So you might want to check that out. But here's the thing I love the most. I had to get permission from Jared because I wasn't sure how he would like this or not. But we have a video of him when he was a lot younger. Maybe, I don't know, he might have been 10 or so. Maybe 11. I'm not sure exactly. But he was goofing around one day and started doing that stupid Gangnam Style dance. And I tell you what. The Evil Overlord and I don't think we've ever laughed so hard in our lives. And this video, you can actually hear us just hee-hawing through the whole thing. I mean, we are cackling. It's so funny to us. I don't know if it'll be funny to you, but it's hilarious to us. And I will put a link to that because Jared has actually given me permission to put that up. He's not that silly anymore. He was a kid then, and it is just one of the most favorite memories I will ever have of him. I'll be 90 years old on my deathbed, and I'll probably remember that video and still laugh because it is just hilarious to me. Have a look and tell me what you think, if it's as funny as I think it is. And by the way, those pajamas he's wearing, I think are the Evil Overlords. For some reason, he didn't have his own, but they're about 3 feet too long for him. But, whatever. Anyway, check out that video.
Hey, yo, bud, where do you want this load of feedback?
All right, I promised you some feedback, so let's get down on it. Get down on it. Sorry about that. I know I promised you guys I wouldn't sing, but I think I broke that promise right after I said that the first time, so I don't know why you'd be surprised about that. So anyway, first up is Clive. Okay, Clive is Clive Hammett. He is on Twitter. He is at Truck Trekker. That's TruckTrekker. And he just sent me a quick tweet and said, tell all your trucking friends that you can turn off raise to glance on the Apple Watch and turn on tap to glance. It'll save your battery. And that's probably a really good tip. I appreciate that, Clive. Like I said, I don't have an Apple Watch, but I'm sure that is a great tip for most people because, truckers are, they got their hands up on the wheel. I don't know if that would activate it or not. So I guess that's really good to know. I assume Clive has got an Apple Watch. Like I said, I know driver Chris Mack just got one. I hope they're enjoying them. Like I said, I just don't see any purpose in it for me. But, then again, I'm a big time Apple guy, but I don't even have an iPad. I just haven't seen the use for that in my life either. Thanks for that little tip, Clive. Next up, Ken replied to me on Google+. By the way, you can find my Google Plus over there. Let's see, it's google.com/plus about truck driving. Not that I know why you'd want to go over there because I'm rarely over there. I do go in there in fits every once in a while and play around for a while, but most of the time I just don't find much use for it over there. But Ken is over there all the time, and everything I see him do over there is pretty interesting. So I've been trying to talk him to recording some of his posts over there into Trucker Dump podcasts. And he's shown some interest in that, but I haven't seen anything yet. Ken, hello. But anyway, if you want to look for him over there on Google+, his name is Ken Begtel. That's Beghttel. And he had a comment on the podcast about the fuel bay. Yeah. He just says, great podcast. The title had me thinking you knew of a secret way to go number one while fueling. Okay, that's a play on me saying that it's the fuel bay golden rule. Golden. Nice one, kid. He goes on and says, disappointing, but still informative. Now I know you're the guy that parks next to my running reefer. Here I thought I was being nice, parking away from everyone, but come to find out, people enjoy it. Ken, honestly, I am the only one I've ever heard say that they actually like to park beside reefer. Everybody else does avoid you like the plague, so I guess you'll just have to find me from now on and park beside me. Which might be kind of hard to do since you have no idea who I drive for. Thanks for writing in, Ken. Appreciate it. And lastly, we're going to hear from Greg, who sent in an audio clip. You will notice in here that it cuts out a little bit here and there, but you'll get the gist of it. It's not me, it's something on his end, and we're not sure what it is, but you can get the gist of it. So here we go.
Hi there, Todd. This is Greg again. Just got done listening to your latest 426 Trucker Ode, and just love the Fuel Island thing. This is a number of years back before I started driving with my other half. Was there at the Pilot in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I pulled in, got fuel, backed out of the fuel bay, parked, went inside, settled up for the fuel ticket, went back out to the truck, grabbed my shower, took a shower, went back out to the truck, threw the shower bag in there, took the dog out, went back inside, and got something to eat, and came back out, and the same idiot that I had to back off the fuel island for was still parked there. So, yeah. And some of my biggest gripes on the fuel island is some of the ones you do, like the guys doing their truck wash with the squeegee, hosing you down with the hose and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in here as we go because this audio comment is a bit long. I've told Greg to try to keep him down in the future, and quite frankly, he's getting a pass because he's the only one who's ever bothered to send an audio comment. But if you do want to send audio comments, try to keep them at 2 or 3 minutes, something like that. If they go too much longer, if they start going into like 6 or 7 minutes, it's almost worth a blog post of its own. That's a little short for me, but you could almost make that a blog post of your own. So anyway, this is unbelievable to me. I mean, I've seen some guys, like I say, sitting on the fuel base for 30 minutes or so, getting a 30-minute break in. But this guy must have been there. I mean, him fueling, running in, paying the ticket, showering, eating, walking his dog, It's like, holy crap, you know? This guy must have been in there for what, 2.5 hours? Are you sure the guy wasn't broken down or something, Greg? I mean, that seems ridiculous, but hey, it wouldn't surprise me. Like you said, I mean, drivers are crazy nowadays. It wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. All right, let's go on. He's going to talk about his dog here.
Also, yes, I have a dog, so don't complain to me, people. Think I'm singling you out because I have a doggy too. I dislike getting out of the truck and stepping in a pile of dog doo. Yeah. Take your dog over to the grass, the dirt, wherever. Don't let him do it on the fuel island, please. That really is a thing to do.
You know what, Greg? That is a thing to do. That drives me crazy. You know, and like you said, take it to the grass. Fuel island is bad anywhere in the parking lot. If there's concrete and people are going to be walking on it, don't freaking let your dog poop there. Enough said. Ugh. And Greg, thank you for making your dog do the right thing. Onward.
All right. On the ice, there's this really neat thing somebody came up with. It's called a slush buster. You find it at slushbuster.com. It's a peel and stick strip of plastic that you peel and stick onto your windshield. And the wiper blade goes back and forth across it twice every stroke. And hey, it does a really good job of knocking the snow and the ice off the blade. So give that a whirl. We usually go and run them and stuff. We just got a new here not too long ago because the Freightliner that we were in had 984,000 plus miles on it. So the owner decided to go and get another truck for us. So anyway, yep, I don't have one on it right now, but it's out of pretty much out of snow season now. But yeah, it works really well.
Well, see now, there's proof that I wasn't lying. I told you Greg's comments have been waiting a long time to get in there, and he just mentioned that snow season was almost up. Well, it's almost back around again. That's how long it is. You might notice in the beginning he mentioned that the last podcast he listened to was the most recent one on 4/26, so back in April. Wow. Sorry about that, Greg. Anyway, this Slush Buster thing, man, what an awesome freaking tip. I am so going to check these out. I've already put in an email to the people, and I'm trying to get a review unit. And as soon as some snow comes up, I'll let you know. Of course, they haven't contacted me back yet, so I don't know if they're actually going to send me some or not. If not, I'll probably just buy some on my own because they sound pretty darn cool. Just hoping to get a free review unit out of it and some podcast material. So check that out at slushbuster.com, and there'll be a link in the show notes, of course. Now Greg's going to jump onto the topic of complacency and how we all get a little complacent when we get some experience under our belts. Take it away.
And yeah, that other driver that you were talking about, seeing rollovers kind of gives him thing. Yeah, see a lot of those up there in the Northeast. Don't like going to the Northeast.
Neither do I.
So, but yeah, see rollovers all over the place. Definitely makes you stop and think. I've never rolled one yet, so yeah, nope, don't plan on it either. But who knows? Anyway, some of the rules that you were talking about. Yeah, we're allowed to cook in our trucks. If they install the inverter, we can have an inverter in our truck. But our company is also putting satellite radio and satellite TV in the truck if you want it. So, and they pay for it. Ooh, great. Love it. Don't get to do this satellite TV very much because the wife and I run team. But, hey, what can you say? It's nice pastime.
And it's free, so you can't beat the price there, Greg. You know, I'm not sure that I would want TV on my truck like a satellite. I already have enough problem motivating to get this podcast done, and I can't imagine, and I kind of make a rule that if I got free Wi-Fi, I'll just relax and have fun on Netflix and Amazon Prime and stuff and YouTube. And then when I don't have Wi-Fi, I'll work on the podcast. And that already is part of my problem. I can't imagine if I actually had satellite TV. That would not be a good thing. So, I don't want it. And by the way, this is the worst of the audio coming up. It really starts cutting out here. But it does correct itself.
Where I try to keep as much stuff off the inverter as possible. Laptop that she plugs into the inverter. But my laptop, I have one Panasonic Tough, like I have a 12-volt plug into the cigarette lighter power source. So if I don't have to have, or if my inverter craps out, hey, I still have my laptop and all that neat crap. So anyways, let's see, this is coming up, passing 5 minutes. I hope that's not too long, but yeah, some of the other things that I hate is our company is one of these that they don't want you to have firearms in the truck. Okay, I can sort of understand, but they don't want you to have knives either. Oh, please give me a break. What truck driver doesn't have at least one blade on him? But as far as the firearms part of it, I just enjoy when I'm home. If I have to go and run down to the big cities and stuff, and we stop and pick up like Subway or something like that at the Loves, walking in there, open carrying my 1911 while driving our car, and oh boy, you get a lot of looks when you're walking through the truck stop packing a pistol. Yeah, that's fun. But anyway, okay, I was just curious about your thoughts on armament in the truck. I think it's a stupid rule. We should pack because, hey, the criminals are, so why can't we? Hey, if you've got a concealed carry permit, you're already licensed to operate a 80,000-pound projectile, so anyway, okay, well, I'll cut this off because it's coming up on 7 minutes now, so, okay, talk to you later, enjoy the show, keep up the good work, take it easy, keep the rubber side down, later.
Well, thank you, Greg. That's good advice for all. I'll try to do my best on that, keeping the rubber side down. Although I've never heard anybody say that. It's usually keep the shiny side up. But, hey, gotta be a little different, huh? Great. Love it. As for the carrying thing, I couldn't agree with you more. If you have a concealed carry permit, you've already gone through classes, you've already shown to be the type of person who is responsible with a gun, I don't see any problem with taking it on the road with you, but hey, I don't make the rules. As for a knife, you're right. I do keep a knife in here, but it's a little bitty tiny thing that I, basically just use to cut apples and little stuff like that. But I do have one in there, and somebody's going to get jabbed with it if they ever try to break into my truck. I'm going to go for the eye, because that's about the only way that little thing could hurt anybody. And it must be effective, because they stab people in the eye all the time on Walking Dead. As for this concealed carry thing, too, the Evil Overlord really wanted to get her concealed carry permit not too long ago, and a friend of ours was like hosting a little concealed carry party out in the woods where we live, and yeah, that's the kind of thing we do in Southwest Missouri. But we were going to go do that, and we just didn't really have the money at the time. She is more interested in it than me because she's at home all the time, and that makes sense to me. She's by herself all the time, and I'm out here. I don't really know that I really want a concealed carry permit. I mean, I have no problem with people who have it. I think it's a good thing we have it. But I personally just don't know when I would ever do it. So many places say that you can't carry them in, and if you do, you can get in trouble for doing it. There's also been a lot of reports of, if someone accidentally sees it under your jacket, they can actually claim it as brandishing a weapon, and I don't want any of that crap on me either. So I'm not really sure how I feel about it. The reason I was actually going to go with the Evil Overlord and do it was, well, for 3 reasons, really. The first one is just because I think it'd be fun to do that kind of thing with the Evil Overlord. Although having a gun in her hand is a bit scary to me. On the second hand, I'd just like to be more familiar with guns. I own a few guns, but I rarely shoot them. I can't remember the last time I shot them. I think actually the 2 shotguns I own, I have never shot them. I have a 44 Special also, and quite honestly, I probably could use the practice because somebody's pretty safe if they break into my house. I'd probably miss. I mean, I think I've told you guys this before, but I once missed a squirrel from about 20 feet with a 12 gauge. So, I could use some work when it comes to aiming. And the other reason was simply for convenience sake. Because the way I understand it, like, if I'm in a car with her and she's driving, and which happens a lot because I drive so much, I don't really want to drive when I'm home. So if she's driving and the glove compartment has the gun in it, but I'm sitting within arm's reach of it, I have to have a concealed carry permit too. And if I don't, she basically has to move the gun over to her side, maybe put it in the door, in the pocket in the door or something like that. And I just honestly don't want to do that every single time. It just sounds like a pain in the butt to me. So that's why I just decided, well, I'll just go with her. I'll get my concealed carry. I'll probably never carry because I very rarely wear a jacket. And if it's cold outside, I usually just wear a hoodie or something. And quite honestly, by the time I could reach under my hoodie and pull my gun out, somebody would probably shoot me anyway. So what's the purpose, Anyway, I do think that people ought to be able to carry out here if they do. But hey, like I say, I don't make the rules. I will say that if you're really interested in this kind of stuff, there's a podcast you might want to check out. It's called Gun Runner Podcast. And I listened to it the first time because it is a trucker who deals with all this stuff, crossing state lines with weapons and stuff like that, because he does carry. And I listened to it a couple times, but like I said, it didn't have enough trucking stuff in it. It was really based towards the gun stuff. And like I said, my interest is when it comes to guns. So, but it sounded really good if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So check that out. Gun Runner Podcast. You can find that anywhere you can get your podcasts. I'll also include a link to that in the show notes. So, hey, thanks again, Greg, for your comments. I know you'll keep it shorter. Well, yeah, you already have kept them shorter. I've got 3 or 4 more comments from Greg, and they're all a little bit shorter. So, because I did contact him and let him know. So, hey, I guess we're done for this episode. I do appreciate the comments from Ken, from Clive, and from Greg, and look forward to hearing more from everybody. Love this part of the show, and I hope you do too. Let me know what you think about it, by the way. I never get any feedback about the show itself. I just get kind of general stuff like, hey, love the show. Okay, what do you love about it? I'm not searching for compliments here. I'm just saying, what parts do you like? What parts don't you like? Let me know. All right, I guess all there is left to do is crank it up to 11. 'Cause it's one louder, isn't it? Well, what'd you think of my first interview? Let me know by heading over to abouttruckdriving.com, typing TD110 into the search bar, and leaving your comments on the blog. Or if you can get her done in 140 characters or less, give me a shout on Twitter, where I'm at Todd McCann. That's 2 D's, 2 C's, and 2 N's. And hey, if you haven't left a review wherever you listen to the show, please consider doing so, just like Jesus Freak Trucker, Adco59, and R Jacob606 did over on iTunes recently. They were short, sweet, and much appreciated. And hey, don't forget to tell every stranger you meet. As always, thanks for listening. So until next time, drive safe, stay out of my way. Hey, Jake, say Todd doesn't know what he's doing.
Todd does not know what he's doing.
Say Todd doesn't know what he's doing.
Todd doesn't know what he's doing.
Just say it. Todd doesn't know what he's doing.
Todd doesn't know what he's doing.
Not like that.
What?
Just say, Todd doesn't know what he's doing.
Todd doesn't know what he's doing.
Todd doesn't